let's just take a step back. I work with a lot of organizations, and the question that we often try to solve is the question about how do we nurture, how do we grow leaders? And leaders here doesn't mean that it's just someone in the top of the hierarchy of the organization. You could be a self leader, you could be a people leader, and you could be an organizational leader. But how do we nurture leaders not only for today, but for tomorrow, for our future? And this is a question that all the organizations, most of the organizations are racing to answer, because that is about making our organization sustainable for our future. So that's a question that we ask ourselves a lot. Now, one of the things about the future is that there's a lot of change that's going to happen. We know that for a fact, change. And so, one of the things that organizations talk about and we work on quite a bit is an ability to, what do you think it is? To thrive in change. Now, I use the word thrive because I hear a lot of people saying, I'm just surviving. Oh, change is coming, change is constant. So I'm always trying to survive in change. And we said, hey, surviving is not fun. We want to thrive. We want to succeed and like change. Come on. Like we want to thrive and we're excited about what change can bring. And that's about allowing us a certain capability to thrive in change. And when we talked about this, we also talked about thriving in change is not enough for the future. It's just not enough if we want to create the future that we really love. And so the other part that we thought about was thriving in change alone is also boring. The other challenge that leaders need to understand is that a future the- doesn't only talk about me, it's thriving in change together. And that's a capability. And that's the culture that we want to create. Most organizations need to create this because we need to tap on the collective intelligence of everyone. Now, thriving in change alone, sometimes we say, oh, it's difficult, but it's like, yeah, all right, I can try. When I say thrive and change together, people go like, oh, that means that I've got to navigate so many differences. There's a lot of conflict. And it's like, oh, that's going to be like tough. And so the question is about how do we then build capability in navigating through conflict? And the first thing we think about conflict is that, boom, it's about someone's not allowing me to do something. Someone's holding me back. Someone's really difficult. And that's one of the ways to think about it. And I want to share with you the other way that I think about conflict. And that comes from a quote that I thought was really nice. And I wanted to share this with you. And that's about from Kenneth Kay. He wrote the book Turning Personal Conflict into Productive Teamwork. And that's about managing conflicts constructively. And so conflict doesn't have to be bad, it can be constructive if we can harness the creativity of ourselves and others and develop the ability to do that. So there are a couple of key shifts that as I speak to leaders, I notice quite a bit, and they are difficult. And as you can see in the picture, it's a shift. There is a risk to this, but leaders also know that if they don't shift, they are going to plateau. It's going to flatten. They're not going to grow. And most people want to grow. So let me just share with you some key shifts. The first shift is moving from me to we. Logically, no problems. The challenge from moving from me to we comes from the application of it, the trust of letting go, control in a lot of ways. If you have heard some people say, if I want to do something, I got to do it myself. That's a me concept. But how do we then learn to do the we concept? And that's not easy because you need to apply certain abilities. The second one is to move from the follow mindset to the co-creation mindset. And the follow mindset is not wrong because like maybe I think in the 30s it starts. We said, what's important for a leader? We said, one, you need to be visionary. You needed to be strategic. And then follow this strategy, you're done. But the future's not like that. The future requires a lot of collaboration because the information is everywhere and we need that collective knowledge. And so it's about co-creating. How do we create a leaders now need to learn how to co-create culture of collaboration and really harness the genius of everyone rather than just one person. So that's another key shift because we don't learn that so much in the past. We didn't rely on that in the past, but we need to do that in the future. The third one is moving from relying just on IQ and actually thinking about, hey, EQ has a place in this as well. And I'm really happy to hear 75% said, okay, we need both. That's great. Yes, we do need both. And we need to make sure that it's balanced. I saw that in your poll as well. Yes. And today, what we're going to talk about is EQ. EQ to some people are just be nice, don't quarrel with other people. That's EQ. But let me bust this myth for now. And what I'm going to do is EQ, because it's vague and complex, we're going to stretch it out. We're going to separate some of the components of EQ for you.